Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Amit, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 different things that I wish I knew before my hair transplant that I went for in Turkey. Now, before we get into all that, do consider liking and subscribing if you already haven't. If you're wondering about how my hair transplant went in Turkey, you can definitely check out the video that's linked in the description below about my honest review of the clinic that I went to and the entire experience that I had. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, it's about the 2nd month now of my hair transplant, and I currently am still in the shedding phase, so it's not really looking that pretty, but wearing a hat right now is my perfect solution. So let's just get right into it. So I think whoever wants to get a hair transplant in Turkey, one of the main concerns is who is the doctor and who is actually performing this surgery on them. I think it's really important to find out prior to going to the clinic. For my case, I did ask the consultant about who would be operating on me. They told me that they are unable to say who exactly because of the amount of people that they get at their clinic, but they did rest assure me that it would be performed by professional individuals and highly qualified individuals. I would have definitely preferred it to be a bit more clear and concise, but when I got to the clinic in Turkey, I had a consultation with the doctor, and in the end, when I went to the surgery, it was performed by technicians.
What?
Now, I understand a lot of people are still a little concerned about that, but at the end of the day, if they're still qualified professionals and also being told by the doctor what to do, I was pretty okay with it. But one thing I do want to say is that make sure you ask questions when you're in that consultation with the doctor, because I personally wish I'd asked a little more questions, but once I got there, everything kind of happened so fast. So I kind of just went with the flow. Again, if you're definitely trying to get a hair transplant in Turkey, make sure you speak to the doctors prior to getting the surgery done. Ask all the questions you want and need to, and then you can take it from there. Now, the second thing that I think is really something that I wish I knew was realistically how painful the injections of the anesthesia was going to be on your head. I went in blind on this and I didn't really know what to expect, but once I got into the chair and they explained that it's going to be a little painful, again, I was like, whatever, it's not a big deal. It's going to be a little pinch. It was not a little pinch, but I definitely think that I wish I was a little more mentally prepared as to how painful that was actually going to be and how long it would have lasted. The pain lasted about a minute or two, but still, it would have been better for my sanity to just know what I was getting myself into. So definitely, if you're considering getting a hair transplant, just make sure you are mentally prepared that it's going to hurt a little bit. But again, at the end of the day, it's a process we have to go through to get the hair transplant done. I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but I just want you to be mentally prepared for that type of pain. Another thing that I wish I knew prior to going to Turkey was actually how well they actually take care of you in Turkey. Now, there's a lot of clinics out there that offer different types of packages, but it really depends on the right clinic that you go to and how well they treat you once you get to Turkey. Now, flying from a different country, I didn't really know what to expect, but when I got there, the service was like top notch. They picked me up from the airport, they brought me to the hotel, they constantly was in contact with me, messaging me on WhatsApp. They brought me down to the clinic. They basically took me from the start to finish. It really felt like I was like a star in my own movie, and I was just being taken care of the entire way, from the beginning of the procedure to the end. Even the follow-up session and how they clean your hair and wash your head afterwards, they really do take the best of care of you, and you never feel like anything is going bad. It's always going fantastic. Fourth thing that I wish I knew prior to going to Turkey and getting a hair transplant was the amount of aftercare that you have to do post hair transplant. Now, to be honest, I did my research about this and I kind of knew what to expect and what medicines to take, but I didn't know the extent of how much of it I had to be taking. Like, for example, I personally have never taken finasteride in my life, and the doctors recommend you to take finasteride or minoxidil afterwards. Now, again, I'm at that stage in my life where I'm not really keen on taking finasteride because I know what the side effects are, and it's just not up my alley. But I will be taking like minoxidil, or I will be trying to take other types of topical treatments to help retain the hair that I have left, as well as regrow the transplanted hair as well. So it's really important to do that research on what exactly you need to be doing after a hair transplant. More importantly, as long as you're comfortable using whatever is recommended to you or whatever you think is right for yourself, then you should definitely do it. To add on about that, the clinic that I went to was Vera Clinic, and after we did the entire procedure and the follow-ups, they did offer me a lot of the different types of aftercare medication. Of course, the doctors knew what they were doing, they knew what they were offering me, and I basically took the stuff that I thought was the most effective to me. They did offer me like vitamins, they offered me a shampoo and a serum to basically help with the healing of my donor area as well as the transplanted area. But at the end of the day, I selected what I thought was suitable for my needs and my recovery, and I took it from there. And lastly, I think the one thing I wish I really knew was that you're not alone when you're doing this hair transplant. Like again, when I decided to do this, it was a big deal for me, and I was basically making this decision on my own. I got on a flight, I flew to Turkey, and I just went for it, you know? But I think while getting the transplant done and getting through the whole procedure, at the end of it, you definitely feel like you're doing this all by yourself. But in reality is that once you get to the clinic, you realize there are so many other people out there who are doing the same exact thing as you. And in fact, I made friends at the clinic, and it was great. Even so, some of those people who I met at the clinic have been watching these YouTube videos and commenting below, and that's amazing. And it gives you a sense of a little community as well. Like this whole thing isn't for nothing, and you're doing this for yourself. But at the end of the day, you know, you just gotta be happy about it, and don't worry, you're not alone with the whole thing. Okay, well, I think that concludes my top 5 things that I wish I knew before I went to Turkey for a hair transplant. If these were of any value to you, please do consider liking and subscribing, and keep checking back for more videos from me if you want to keep following me and my journey to getting more hair. If you haven't checked out my other videos too, please do consider checking them out. I've done a lot of different videos on tips and situations of after hair transplants, so definitely do check them out if you haven't already. And of course, if you want to see my main honest review, that's the first video in the link below. And also, if you are considering to get a hair transplant, you can definitely check out the link that I've put below. It's a link straight to the clinic that I went to. You can sign up and get a free consultation and try to see if you're interested in getting a hair transplant. All right, I think that wraps up today's video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.